Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Dear students, our today's topic is emission and absorption spectra. Topic: emission and absorption spectra. Before going through the emission and absorption spectra, let's first see what do you mean by spectroscope. Spectroscope किसे कहते हैं? Dear students, we know that we have the ultimate source of energy, that is sun, and sun से बहुत सारी radiations निकलती है. For example, we have the radiations coming from the sun. They have different wavelengths and different frequencies. For example, we have the rays coming from the sun and we have the radiations coming from the sun, such as we have cosmic rays, we have gamma rays, we have X-rays, we have UV, we have visible, we have IR, we have microwave, and we have radio waves. These radiations have different wavelengths and different frequencies. For example, if we move downwards like this, the wavelength increases and the frequency decreases. If we arrange them in order of if we arrange these rays, these electromagnetic radiations, in order of their increasing wavelengths or decreasing frequencies, the arrangement obtained is called electromagnetic spectrum. Now we have these rays, and if these rays, they have the different wavelengths and different frequencies, and if we want to separate these radiations, we need an instrument, and that instrument is called a spectroscope. So spectroscope, it is an instrument which is used to separate the radiations of different wavelengths and different frequencies. So we have spectroscope is an instrument which is used to separate. It is an instrument which is used to separate the electromagnetic radiations of different wavelengths or different frequencies. Here we have wavelength. This spectroscope, it consists of two parts. One is called as the telescope and second is the prism. Or first is we have this spectroscope. It has two parts. One, that's prism, and number second, that is telescope. Prism, which is used as a diffraction grating, prism or diffraction grating. And second is a telescope, which is used for example, in the telescope, if we have the prism and we throw a light on it, this prism, it splits this light into the different the light into different these rays. For example, if we use the white light here, when white light falls on this prism, it gets split into the 7 band of colors, that is whipped wire. That this is the prism. This is the function of the prism, that it splits the light. While as that, then we are going to examine these radiations, these rays, after splitting, which we examine with the help of the telescope. Now, if in the spectroscope, this telescope, it is replaced by the photographic film. Suppose we place here a photographic film to receive this these rays on the photographic film. Then this is called as, this is photographic film. If the telescope is replaced by the photographic film, then at that time the instrument is called spectrograph. Then it's called as the spectrograph. Spectrograph, it is the instrument where when a ray of light falls upon the prism splits that, and we obtain that pattern. After splitting of that light, white light, it gets splitted up, and that splitting pattern is obtained on a photographic film. This photographic film obtained here, it is called as spectrogram. Spectrogram or spectrum. And this instrument, now the instrument is called as spectrograph. तो स्पेक्ट्रोग्राफ और स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोप में खाली इतना फर्क है कि स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोप में टेलीस्कोप होता है to analyze the ray which passes through the prism. And then in case of the spectrograph, we have the photographic film on which the pattern is obtained, pattern of the ray after splitting through the prism. After it passes through the prism, the splitted pattern is obtained on the photographic film. That photographic film obtained is called as spectrum, or that's called as the spectrogram. So we have spectrum. Spectrum क्या होता है कि suppose अगर हम white light लेंगे, उसको हम pass करेंगे through the prism, it gets splitted up into the 7 band. In case of white light, that gets splitted up into a band of 7 colors. That colored pattern obtained on the photographic film is called as the spectrum. Now, this spectrum, it is of two types. Spectrum जो होता है वो दो किस्म का होता है. एक को हम कहते हैं emission spectra, and second is called as the absorption spectra. Suppose we have the prism. And here you have the light. Suppose it is visible light or white light. White light falling on the prism. It gets splitted up into the band of 7 colors. It gets splitted up into the band of the 7 colors obtained on this photographic film. White light obtained from the sun. Suppose we have the white light. We obtain that white light from the sun. We strike this white light on this prism. It gets splitted up into a band of 7 colors. The pattern is obtained on the photographic film. The spectrum obtained here is called as the continuous emission spectra. This is called a continuous emission spectra. यहाँ पर क्या होता है, विबगॉयर बनता है, विबगॉयर. विबगॉयर. Violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red colors are obtained on the photographic film. This spectrum obtained continuously. यहाँ पर क्या होता है कि colored bands are obtained, violet from violet to red. उनके दरमियान में कोई dark space नहीं है. Continuously the colors, they are merging into one another. That is why it is called as the continuous emission spectra. Now we have, so what is continuous emission spectra? White light falling on the prism, splitted up into a band of 7 colors which are merging into one another, constitutes the continuous emission spectra. Now we have another one. If we take a gas in a discharge tube, suppose this gas is here, and we heat it. After heating this gas, a ray of light coming from this gas, this is gas heated, a ray of light come out from this gas, and then it strikes through the prism, The pattern is then obtained on the photographic film or the bullet. Like this, we obtain certain lines here. Sharp lines are obtained which are separated from each other by the black spaces. तो एट दैट टाइम जो जो स्पेक्ट्रम ऑब्टेन होता है उसको हम कहते हैं लाइन स्पेक्ट्रा. लाइन स्पेक्ट्रा में क्या होता है कि बेसिकली यहाँ पर हम व्हाइट लाइट लेते हैं विच इज डायरेक्टली ऑब्टेन फ्रॉम द सन. व्हाइट लाइट pass through the prism, split us up into a band of 7 colors constitutes the continuous emission spectra. पर यहाँ पर हम क्या लेते हैं कि लाइट लेते हैं but that the source of the light is here the gas which is taken in a discharge tube. We heat that gas and the ray of light coming out from this gas is allowed to strike the prism. It splits up and here we obtain the pattern. Sharp lines are obtained, but these lines sharp colored lines are obtained, but these lines they are separated from each other by the dark spaces. तो यहाँ पर क्या होता है, सपोज पैटर्न यहाँ पर obtain होता है like this. Lines are obtained here separated from each other by the dark bands. So that spectrum obtained is called as the line spectrum या लाइन स्पेक्ट्रा. लाइन स्पेक्ट्रा में क्या होता है कि यहाँ पर हमें कुछ कलर लाइंस मिलती हैं लेकिन विच आर सेपरेटेड फ्रॉम ईच अदर बाय द डार्क स्पेसेस. तो एट दैट टाइम द स्पेक्ट्रम जो ऑब्टेन होता है उसको हम कहते हैं लाइन स्पेक्ट्रा. इसी तरह से हमारे पास होता है एब्जॉर्प्शन स्पेक्ट्रा. एब्जॉर्प्शन स्पेक्ट्रा में क्या होता है कि वी टेक द व्हाइट लाइट हम लेते हैं. व्हाइट लाइट सपोज हियर वी हैव द व्हाइट लाइट. इट स्ट्राइक्स इट फर्स्ट पास. यहाँ पर हम कुछ ये रखते हैं, कुछ ट्यूब रखते हैं, उसमें हम रखते हैं कुछ एब्जॉर्बिंग substance. For example, the solution is placed in it or some absorbing gas is placed in it. इसमें हम रखते हैं सपोज some solution. जब ये सोल्यूशन व्हाइट लाइट आती है, सोल्यूशन से पास होके यहाँ बाहर निकलती है, तो देन इट स्ट्राइक्स द प्रिज्म एंड देन द पैटर्न इज ऑब्टेन्ड ऑन द फोटोग्राफिक फिल्म. तो पैटर्न जो यहाँ पर ऑब्टेन होता है उसको हम कहते हैं एब्जॉर्प्शन स्पेक्ट्रा. वो पैटर्न कैसा होगा, सपोज हमारे पास ये है पैटर्न. हमने व्हाइट लाइट ली, अगर हम मीडियम नहीं रखेंगे बीच में, डायरेक्टली पास करेंगे थ्रू द प्रिज्म, वी ऑब्टेन द विबगॉयर. लेकिन यहाँ पर हमें क्या ऑब्टेन हो गया कि यहाँ पर हमें ऑब्टेन हो गया सपोज वी हैव द रीजन्स हियर. वी हैव सपोज रेड इज देयर, we have the orange and here you have the red. Instead of जब हमने पास किया है, जब हमने white light पास की through the solution and after passing through the solution the light is allowed to pass through the prism and then pattern is obtained on the photographic film. तो यहाँ पर क्या, suppose हमने यहाँ पर obtain क्या किया, वायलेट आ गया, रेड, इंडिगो आ गया, ब्लू, ग्रीन, लेकिन येलो जो है that is missing. यहाँ पर उसका बैंड नहीं आता है, तो डार्क स्पेस इज दियर. इसका मतलब ये है कि दिस पोर्शन ऑफ द लाइट हैज बीन एब्जॉर्ब्ड बाय द सॉल्यूशन एंड ऑरेंज एंड रेड इज हियर. तो ये पोर्शन जो है ये इस सॉल्यूशन ने एब्जॉर्ब किया है एंड इट द रिमेनिंग पोर्शन जो है लाइट का दैट कॉन्स्टिट्यूट्स द एब्जॉर्प्शन स्पेक्ट्रम. तो एब्जॉर्प्शन स्पेक्ट्रम में होता क्या है कि सिंपली व्हाइट लाइट जो है उसका कुछ पोर्शन एब्जॉर्ब होता है एंड रिमेनिंग पोर्शन का स्पेक्ट्रम हमें ऑब्टेन होता है. लेकिन जो पोर्शन एब्जॉर्ब होता है वहां पर हमें क्या मिलता है, एक डार्क स्पेस और डार्क बैंड इज ऑब्टेन्ड देयर एंड द स्पेक्ट्रम इज कॉल्ड एज द एब्जॉर्प्शन स्पेक्ट्रम. अब जो यहाँ पर ये एब्जॉर्ब हो गया, ये बैंड एब्जॉर्ब हो गया, तो अब इसने क्या किया, इसने ये किया, we have the substance there, we have the absorbing substance here. absorbing substance में क्या होता है, absorbing substance Absorbing substance में atoms होते हैं. Suppose we have the atom, and atom, according to the Bohr's theory, the atom, it outside the nucleus we have the circular spaces are there, circular paths are there, which are called as orbits, in which electrons are present. तो यहाँ पर जब वाइट लाइट इस पर पड़ती है तो इस इलेक्ट्रॉन ने, सपोज यहाँ पर जो अभी हमने एग्जांपल ली, तो बैंड फॉर द येलो लाइट वाज मिसिंग. इसका मतलब ये है कि इस इलेक्ट्रॉन ने येलो कलर एब्जॉर्ब किया है, एंड देन इट गेट्स एक्साइटेड टू द हायर एनर्जी लेवल्स, एंड आफ्टर एक्साइटेशन तो हायर एनर्जी लेवल्स, ये यहाँ एक्साइटेड स्टेट में ज़्यादा देर नहीं रुकता है, तो ये रिटर्न करता है बैक टू इट्स ग्राउंड स्टेट, एंड देन द light is emitted. Here that absorbed amount of the light is emitted. अगर हम उसका स्पेक्ट्रम अब देखेंगे जो इसने लाइट इमिट की, सपोज हमने क्या कहा, हमने ये कहा कि हमारे पास वाइट लाइट है, हमने पास की थ्रू द absorbing substance or medium which consists of the atoms. That absorbing substance basically क्या होता है, matter होता है, which consists of the atoms. तो atoms में क्या होता है कि atoms में nucleus होता है और electrons are present in the circular paths called as the orbits. तो यहाँ पर कुछ पोर्शन absorb होता है लाइट का, that is absorbed by the electron, and its energy it gets increased and it jumps from its ground state to the higher energy level. लेकिन ये higher energy level में ज़्यादा देर नहीं रुकता है, it returns back to the ground state. When it returns back to the ground state, it emits the light, and if we are going to analyze that light, it passes through the prism, and here we are getting the pattern on the photographic film, and what here we get here same yellow line, yellow band, and this is the black space, black space. यहाँ पर हमें खाली ये पोर्शन जो है that is the yellow, ये हमें दिखा, इसका बैंड आता है यहाँ पे जो इसने लाइट इमिट की है. अगर हम उसको पास करेंगे थ्रू द प्रिज्म, एंड देन द पैटर्न इज obtained on the photographic plate, we get the spectrum of the yellow line which it has absorbed and which was missing in the otherwise absorption spectra. This was about the spectrum, emission spectra and absorption spectra. Now we have a question based upon this, that is the hydrogen spectrum. Inshallah, in the next video lecture we will go through the hydrogen spectrum. Thank you so much.